Let's bring in Amanda Stoker now, former Assistant Federal Attorney General and a Distinguished Fellow of the Menzies Research Centre. She joins me now from Brisbane. Amanda, it's early days yet in the nuclear debate, but these results from Compass polling suggest that the public support for wind and solar is beginning to fade. What did you make of those numbers? 55% are prepared to consider the small modular reaction option compared to 45% against.
These numbers are really encouraging for two reasons. First, it's an indication that Australians are starting to see some of the complexities surrounding renewables. They aren't just a cost-free dogma, which is sort of how they were understood for a period of time. They were seen as having no downside. And if Australians are understanding the complexity of that and the knock-on consequences for the cost of energy, for instance, that shows a development in Australia's understanding that's important. But also seeing this high level of potential support for nuclear energy, even at a time when those in the political class haven't really taken Australians on the journey of reassuring them about its safety, about its potential cleanliness, and about its ability to deliver in a cost-effective way over time, suggests it is well and truly achievable to get really quite strong support out in the community.
I think there's no secret to the fact that the coalition was very nervous about raising nuclear power. I mean, once you've talked about nuclear submarines, as we did, nuclear power is the next conversation to have. But there was, I think you would have noticed it too, a deliberate effort not to go there before the election. I would have thought on these numbers, I'd be still cautious about going there, you know, as a firm policy proposal, but you can certainly see how you can build a consensus over time if you argue it's in the right way.
I think that's right. And if it's done in a way that is sensitive to the concerns of Australians about making sure that the kinds of disasters that have been seen in the past, or the kinds of images that people associate with The Simpsons, rather than the reality of the technology we're dealing with today, if we're going to allay those concerns and help people to understand the healthy place this could take in the energy mix as a way of helping to support the unreliability of renewables, it could actually take this country a long way forward.
Elsewhere in that Compass polling, we found out that 41% of Australians, 4 in 10 Australians, actually think you can manage without any backup power, 100% on renewables. Now, nobody who's spent any time looking seriously at the engineering, let alone economic issues here, would think that was remotely possible. But it does suggest to me that much of the debate here is being driven by good intentions and feelings rather than pragmatism, sound logic, and genuine scientific arguments. What do you think?
Look, I think that's right. And that misconception from people responding to the poll really does reflect the fact that renewables have been seen as a cost-free, virtuous choice in the way that it's been marketed by those from the Green left. Once people start to understand that there are real costs in the monetary and in the environmental sense associated with renewables, and then they start to think about some of those sovereign capability questions that come with the fact that most renewable equipment and servicing and parts all come straight out of China. All of those complexities layered on help people to understand that we actually need diversity in the energy mix so that we can have the ability to support and adapt the technologies to one another.